Hi, everyone. It's Rebecca Imholz with the Mount Pleasant Chamber of Commerce. I want to welcome you to today's webinar, The Pivot, Living and Working During COVID-19. We're going to be talking today about the Mount Pleasant Chamber of Commerce Expo that's going all virtual. And our moderator today is John Carroll. John is president of Unlimited Performance Incorporated. He is a really expert in helping companies grow, be more productive, be more profitable. He is the brains behind the pivot for the chamber that we have started since we've gone all virtual. Hope you're doing well today, John Carroll. Thank you again for being such an excellent moderator and pulling this together for us today.
Thank you, Rebecca. It's a pleasure again to be with you and knowing that you've got our backs here with the chamber. So it's my pleasure to serve as moderator on the pivot. I want to welcome everybody as well to our weekly series of informational discussions on issues in the midst of and following the current pandemic. This event is presented exclusively by the Mount Pleasant Chamber of Commerce. My role as moderator is to introduce our guests, get the discussion started with some questions, and give those attending the event live the opportunity to participate via the chat or Q&A function, which Rebecca will be monitoring. Thanks for taking the time with your Mount Pleasant Chamber of Commerce to join fellow members in staying informed and helping you care for your team, your clients and customers, and taking care of business in post-pandemic conditions. Businesses everywhere have had to face new conditions and challenges, offering opportunities to pivot. Today, we have a perfect and prime example of pivoting as we talk about the upcoming 2020 Mount Pleasant Business and Community Expo. Let's meet three people leading the charge for the expo to take place. Our first guest today on the pivot is Michael Cochran. Michael is a native of the Low Country and a graduate of the Citadel. His background is in sales and customer service management. Michael is an agent with Farm Bureau Insurance who enjoys helping clients connect the dots to find the proper coverage for their risks and needs. As a multi-line agent, he offers solutions for personal lines of auto, home, and life insurance, as well as commercial, health, and small business products. Michael is the Mount Pleasant Chamber of Commerce Expo Committee Chair. Michael, welcome back to the Pivot.
Hey, John. Good afternoon, everybody. Thank you so much for having me today.
Glad to have you, Michael. Our second guest joining us for this discussion is Mike Compton. Mike is co-founder and executive producer of Three Chairs Productions, who specializes in digital and content marketing. Mike is passionate about producing strong creative videos that are engaging and stimulating to your customers. Today's companies have the opportunity to do more than promote their brand. They can tell their story in ways that they never imagined. After 18 years in Tampa, Florida, this Michigan native relocated here to grow his video production and marketing business. Mike is the Mount Pleasant Chamber Marketing Committee Chair. Mike, welcome back to the Pivot.
Glad to be here, John. Thanks for having us.
Glad to have you with us. And our third guest today is Benjamin Toy. Benjamin is owner of On Purpose Adventures, specializing in virtual team building, and strengthens remote employees to keep them productive and engaged. On Purpose Adventures uses an approach toward interactions and collaborations that change the minds of many about video calls being boring. They teach, train, and facilitate so you can host engaging virtual meetings. Ben is a valuable member of the Mount Pleasant Chamber Expo, leading this year's virtual experience. Ben, welcome to the Pivot.
Thanks for having me.
Glad to have you. Michael, let's get the questions started with you. As chair of the Chamber's 2020 Mount Pleasant Business and Community Expo Committee, you had a functioning model of how the expo would be most successful by creating great value for sponsors, exhibitors, guests, and the entire community. That formula, of course, went out the window with the pandemic, and so the pivot is on, right? Tell us a little bit about that.
Yes, sir. It is definitely on, and we definitely had a pivot for a who moved my cheese moment for sure. One of the things that we looked at was this was going to be our 10th business expo. The 10th year of doing this, and we've had great success. A lot of hardworking people had done a lot of work for 10 years to make sure that this was a premier event, and we were on target to have that happen again. March hit, COVID-19 hit, and we had a huge pivot. So what we did was we regrouped. We've got smart folks on our team, and we took a step back and said, okay, everything's going virtual. Is this an option for us? And after many, many days and hours of discussion and votes and gathering data, and we could not have done it without folks like Benjamin and Mike Compton. Those two guys, absolutely experts in their fields. And what they did was they helped frame, it was Benjamin's idea, and we were able to take that, package it, frame it, and present it to our board and the executive board for a decision to move forward with the Virtual Expo, which will give us flexibility. It's going to give us a multi-day event. Instead of one day, it's going to be 10 days now. It's going to give us unlimited sponsorship opportunities, greater potential for outreach, all the caveats you can imagine, plus the social distancing aspects. And our premier sponsor and presenting sponsor, Crews Subaru, has been retained, and they are on board 100%. So to say we had a pivot was really an understatement.
Yes, indeed, Michael. And boy, what a, and you know, kind of like the duck that looks all calm above the surface, and those feet are paddling double time to make sure everything is where it needs to go and heading in the right direction. Congratulations on what you've been able to accomplish up till now. The expo coming at us here very shortly, or relatively shortly. So we'll talk a little bit more about that. Mike, let's come over to you for a second. As marketing committee chair for the chamber, your task was spreading the word and generating value for all involved in this year's event. Talk about how you've had to pivot as the format changed to all virtual.
Well, this event has been such a success for the past 10 years. This is my first time experiencing it and being a part of the team. But what I've been hearing for the past decade has been how great this event's been. So no pressure here to do the same thing here virtually. Now, just like any other great pivot, it's a full team effort from the go. It's, as Michael was saying, communication, voting, talking, strategizing. Benjamin Toy jumps on board, and he's leading this virtual experience for us, and it's really going to be a great experience. Who would have thought we'd be able to do it for 10 days, which is really cool. So I just wanted to give a lot of kudos to Ben and his team for jumping on and really taking this virtual experience to the next level. You're going to have questions, and we're going to have answers. And specifically, Ben's going to have answers too, because he made these great videos that we're going to share with you right now. There will be other videos coming down the road, especially as questions start funneling in. We're going to make videos, and we're going to make it as easy and as turnkey for you as possible for vendors and attendees. And I just would like to show you this video we made here, if that's okay. Is this the time to show this video, John?
Mike, if you will, yeah, it's going to be just a second. We're going to ask Ben, as the architect of what we're doing, let's give Ben an opportunity to talk about, Ben, your technical expertise to bear on moving the expo from in-person to virtual, one that should be both inviting and attractive to many who can attend from really wherever they're located. And you gave us an idea of where you're going to be for part of the expo, which I think is amazing. And I understand you're going to give us a sneak peek on how this all will work.
Yeah, absolutely. And so for us, my team lives by the mantra of blessed are the flexible, because they don't get bent out of shape. So pivot is a normal thing for us. And so doing things for the first time is commonplace. However, it's always different to some degree. So our expertise is creating experiences, and that's what we're going to do. Do you want me to do the manual thing or do the video? What are we doing now?
Let's show the video that Mike has queued up. Mike, you're going to get the share screen going and do that. And let's see. And Ben, you'll have an opportunity to fill in any blanks afterwards if you like.
That sounds great.
Can you all see it?
Yes, sir.
This is Benjamin Toy On Purpose Adventures and Team Building. I am here to walk you through a demo of the value of being a vendor at the 2020 Mount Pleasant Chamber of Commerce Community and Business Expo. 10 days of expo celebrating 10 years of serving the community as the chamber. Right. First of all, I want to give you a little background. There are a lot of virtual events happening right now, and they're all very different. Some have webinars and seminars and recordings and all that. Our background's a little different. As a team building and employee engagement company, we're using an app as a platform to facilitate engagement between the people representing businesses, so vendors and sponsors, and individuals desiring to learn more, attendees. This platform we use for GPS scavenger hunts all throughout the world, code-based experiences like that of what we have created for the South Carolina Aquarium, as well as gamified training solutions, like something we recently created for a manufacturing company that wanted a fun way to learn their safety protocols that we called Escape from Danger. Put 300 people through this, they actually have a higher retention rate. Anyways, say all of that simply to mean that this is an engagement platform, and this is our take on how we can do a business expo. We hope you see the potential in it and elect to become a vendor or sponsor, or at least, at the very least, attend. Attendees will learn how to be registered, be sent information to download our app, which can only be used via smartphone or tablet. And then they will be given instructions on the day of how to do what they need to do. All right. All right. Every so often you're going to see, we're going to just go to that. So once they do that, they're going to download our app. They can either type in the information or they can actually just scan the QR code that will also be in their email and registration. Scan that really quickly. We're going to give them plenty of information. We're going to talk about being able to leave and come back. We're going to have hyperlinks in the instructions of how to leave and come back if they want. We're going to talk to them about how they can zoom in and out. And there are going to be links and videos for any tech challenges they may incur. Again, because we are a team building outfit, we are not going to change the login screen. They're simply going to enter their name. I've done this a couple times. And they're going to skip the team member location or spot because they don't need it. We already know their name. Unless they're doing it as a joint group, they could. If they come back, they can also resume with the existing team, and that would be their name as well. All right, what you're seeing here is a demo. In the future, it will be a full screen. There's going to be white space on the outside that are going to have sponsor logos and additional instructions. What you're seeing now are logos of the existing vendors that are placeholders for the lack of a better term. We only have a few that are actually dynamic right now, but in the future, as you can see, as I zoom in with my fingers, the icon changes. So imagine the entire, all the other logos will change accordingly as well, but this is just a demo. We also want to gather information from the attendees, and so that's how this first one starts. They click it, they click open now. All right, we want to know their email address. Now, the reason we're asking this versus just assuming that we have it during the registration, we know that people might still give this information to other folks, and we still want them to attend, so we want to capture their information as well. All right, then automatically after that first one, we want to know where they're viewing this from. Perfect. After that, they get some choice. After we get the first word from our sponsor, we're going to be actually able to, on a certain interval, put sponsor tasks along the way. All right, this one's kind of like a survey. We want to know for Crews Subaru, who has agreed to be the title sponsor at the full amount as they have every year because they see the value in this and they actually see the reach can be actually greater this year. So in this answer, maybe it's 6 months from now, I'm going to click OK. That is just simply a multiple choice and answer. Now from here, you see that we have 3 activities. Mine's just a logo mark with the business name there. Another one for the chamber, and then you have the blood connection one. I'm going to click on the chamber one again. It's another one, but it's going to show you a little bit different way that we can handle the task.
You are not able to record a video for your booth. You can record an audio file that we can upload and convey all of the information about your business that you desire.
As you can see, we can always make your logo really big in your task. So it's going to be small in on the map, but big in your individual task. But we can also hyperlink, and we pull up a website, whatever page we want them to go to. You have to read below that the question says, since when have they been doing this, bringing business together? The answer is 1992. This is brought up within our app, not another browser. So when you click the blue X, it takes you back to our app. There is no need to go back and toggle between apps. We do the right answer, we hit OK. If you do the wrong answer, it's going to make you do it until you get it right. Now, this is a very short version, but imagine when we have a lot more booths entered into the app and the experience. At some point, we're going to ask for a testimonial, and that is going to be done through the app. We're simply going to skip that now. But individuals will record testimonials of this experience, so we'll have feedback. All right. Now, the next one I'm going to click on, you're going to see two things. One, the logo of the blood connection at the very top of the task, but also a hosted video that has trivia asking basically trivia from what they say in the video itself. So here we go.
Shit.
And then,
Charleston, we are the Blood Connection, and we are proud to now be serving you. We are the sole provider for Roper St. Francis Healthcare, and we need your help saving local lives. Please be sure to stop by our booth and visit our website, thebloodconnection.org, today.
excellent. So we can host that video. It's embedded in the app. It's only coming up because my connection has some issues where I'm at. Listen to the video. You'll see here's the text. We only have the ability of underlining to give any value if you need to. Characters can be bulleted, and all text will be justified in the task content. The answer, I'm going to do the wrong one. Say wrong answer. That means it's still up there, so we don't get credit for it. So I have to click on it again. I know the right answer. And
Charleston, we are the Blood.
all right, Roper St. Francis, perfect. All right, another word from our sponsor.
They lived. They lived.
I sped through that a little bit just to save you some time, but that gives the answer. Okay, how many top safety picks? This one only allows them to type in a number, so if they don't type in the word 5, they have to type in the number 5 and hit OK. But that's how sponsorship is going to work. Is we're going to on certain intervals add their tasks in that don't have to get clicked on. Okay. All right. One last example, but before we do that, we are 10 days. Most folks never get to go to every booth. They don't get to have a conversation with everybody. You could theoretically leave the app, go do whatever, come back to the app, it brings you back there. But let's say you actually wanted to exit. You can exit, click yes, I want to exit. I'm gone. I can go completely out of the app, back in here, and I want to continue the last game. I don't think you're going to be playing other scavenger hunts of ours, so this will be your last game. And you click on the booth you still have to attend. Here you go. Quick video that
Hi, I'm Benjamin Toy with On Purpose Adventures and Team Building. I offer such and such. Choose below what you're most interested in.
All right, so you can see I did that. I hosted this on my account. You're gonna have the logo. All right, now a couple different things here. We scrolled down. This is the ability of seeing what a person might be interested in. Any of these are accepted as correct answers. It's simply a survey. But we also have the ability of adding additional links or videos. Only one can be embedded, but here is another one that we pull up that comes. So did a little Rickroll. Also, if you want to chat with somebody live, I'm going to show you a way that you can do this. I have a domain that goes to my Zoom waiting room. Now you give the parameters, let's say between 10 and 4 p.m. Monday through Friday during the expo duration, pull up a browser on your phone and you can go to this website and you type in this password. I'm going to show you how I can do it right here. I'm going to type in my domain, benjamintoy.com. If the app is installed, tap launch meeting. Also do it on your on a browser at home. And if you have the app installed, it will pull it up. So several options on how to chat with people live is just having a domain that directly goes to that. Okay. With that being the case, I'm going to hit OK, correct answer, because that's what you wanted to be involved with. And that is the demo. We're going to have some additional videos on how to do certain things with videos. We have a partner that can make videos and captions for you, maybe graphics if you need. But that is the simplicity of it. People are going to be able to attend the expo at any time during the day and from all over the world if they wanted to. So our reach can be a lot greater than what it currently is. So thank you for watching.
So, good job, Ben.
Thank you.
Ben, wow, that was a fast and ferocious tour through what looks like it's going to have a lot of things in there. What's going on?
Well, I hope most folks can see that when there are more booths there and it's filled out more, that the value is that every so often, so if you're a sponsor, you're going to be able to be in front of folks' faces virtually on an interval. Okay, so every so often we're going to put a Crews Subaru, task or survey in front of you. Other sponsors are going to have those same type of things. If you're a booth, they're going to be able to click on yours, watch, go to videos, and they're going to really be able to take the time to explore your business and offerings. And that's the great thing, is we don't have to worry about safety. We don't have to wait in line, be distant, rush our conversations. The businesses are going to be able to have the same message every time and not be deterred with folks that are waiting or impatient, or they really want to talk to this person and this person's taking their time up, all those kind of things. So we don't know how it's going to go. I believe it's going to be great for all parties, but we're going to have some great data. So every time an attendee or a attendee goes to a booth, and because they don't have to go to everyone, they can choose. And we're going to have some prize components and whatnot, but we're going to have data to say they went to your booth and they said they were interested in this information, or they answered this trivia, and then we're able to provide that name and email address, and potentially, if we collect phone numbers, to the booth. So it's the little fishbowl. We now have a virtual fishbowl, so that every attendee that goes to your booth, you will get that information. Now, if they don't attend your booth, then you don't get that information. But our goal is to make it as enticing as possible. And within 10 days, they have no rush. They can go back and forth and do 5 booths, 10 booths, and really ingest and digest the content and the businesses that are part of this.
Thanks, Benjamin. And so I can go back and visit a booth a second time, right?
Can't do a booth a second time. Now I can make that's the case, and so that's one thing that our committee may decide to do. Right now I have it that it's tasked so that you get credit for it, but we can choose that they can go back to the booth. So that may be the best option, where they can go back. But we also have to find out a way so they know what they have to do, what is remaining. So that is a decision that we can make. But we have the option of saying they can go back to a booth.
And so we're trying to move an in-person event to a virtual, and not everybody, but many people will do sort of their survey around an expo, right? And then they'll stop for a second, they'll think about who is most interesting, and they'll go spend some more time with the 2 or 3 that represent the greatest value to them right then and there. We will be able to do that with the virtual, if we can do that in a way where, and then they know if they've come back a second time, the booth people will know right away, right, that they've got somebody who has a great interest.
Correct. They have more ability to go to their website, check things out, or they can say, follow us on these things. So they'll be able to see the metrics, if you will, afterwards.
And the fishbowl that you mentioned, right, with the physical business cards, turns into something that can create a database, easier to follow up because it's all electronic and digital. Just seems to be so many benefits of doing things this way. Talk about, and Benjamin, I'm going to give you a chance to rest a little bit. Michael, talk about, if you will, some of the benefits of this versus the in-person for the business that puts a booth up at an in-person expo versus the virtual booth at the Virtual Expo?
Sure. You know, we've talked about a lot of keys there with being a multi-day, 10-day versus 1 day. So that's probably one of the biggest. We mentioned flexibility, but one thing we haven't mentioned is staffing, because in order to do a booth, you're going to have swag, which is an expense. You're going to have staffing, which is usually, we recommend at least 2 people there, if not more, to give people some relief during the day, especially when you have what we would normally have is 1,500 people coming through in half a day or a day's event. People get tired and they need to take a break and whatnot. And Benjamin had made a comment early on when we first started discussing this back in March, or even before that, that conversations can get rushed. And I thought that was a brilliant point, that conversations can get rushed. In addition to the saving of the critical data, because how many times have I gotten that card out of the fishbowl and you can't read the handwriting, or they've left a digit off, or something's not quite right. So that's a missed opportunity. But you've got the staffing issues, you don't have to worry about that. And you've got greater flexibility and greater potential for outreach. I mean, literally, and Benjamin, if you want to jump in on this, our booth registrants and our sponsors, they could probably put on their own personal websites linked to this event to be able to go to that from theirs as well. So you've got a greater outreach there. But the staffing issues, the flexibility, the multi-day, we think that that's a recipe for success.
Not to mention, Michael, the load in and out in what promises to be another warm day in September in the Low Country.
That's correct.
All good things. So, Mike, back to you for just a second. So with all of this going on, it seems like there's an enormous opportunity for synergy, if you will. Somebody can use exactly what their marketing message is and blend that with the expo in a way that everybody wins.
It's Mount Pleasant Chamber of Commerce at its best. I mean, we're connecting people, we're connecting vendors, we're collecting data. We're bettering the whole situation. I mean, this pivot really does. I mean, I feel like next year when we do the in-person, we should also do the virtual, and I think it's just, a lot of these new norms are just here to stay, and we're just going to have to live with it. And a lot of it's negative, but a lot of it is also positive. And I think this is one of those positive pivots that really have made us think and make things better. Yeah.
Thanks, Mike. And Ben, what would you say to the people who, they love the way they've done this in the past? They love coming to the venue. They love people wandering by the booth. They love all those things. What would you say to them if you were able to have a conversation and they said, man, I'm going to miss the way it is now?
I say, I understand. I miss it too. I mean, you can't replace in-person interactions, but right now we have to still continue with business. And this is a way to give small business a lifeline to some degree, right? I mean, here's a marketing effort that can get you reach while saving money. To myself, as several businesses that we have that would be vendors at other expos, like I don't have the extra funds to staff or even the staff that to be able to run some of these things. And so I hear you, I feel you. There nothing replaces in person, right? We have Zoom fatigue, and I get it. This actually started off as, like last year, we had a scavenger hunt that was a complement or an enhancement to the expo. Created a great video, it was great photos, it was awesome. And then when we started the original plannings, that's what we were going to do. We were going to enhance it, we were going to have theme, we were going to be great. And then it came to, well, a virtual option could be a complement or a supplement. If we could have only so many people in person, then we could direct people this way, and then it had to become a completely virtual. So there were iterations of it, because we would love to be in person. This is just a different take at it, and I'm thankful for the opportunity for us to explore an option, and grateful for a chamber that sees potential. And to even when we had the conversation about Crews Subaru coming back on board, he's like, man, I see it. I love it. This gives us more reach than just the folks that can show up. So he saw it, and I think some folks maybe thought that was going to be a hard sell, and he's like, nope, I love it. So that gave us confidence in that we have. We don't know exactly how it's going to turn out, but we know that we're going to do the work to create a great experience.
Thanks, Benjamin. I'm just getting excited just listening to all of the elements about this. And, I'm generally one of those guys that just loves attending. I love to cruise around, if you will, and see what all people have going on. It's a great way to catch up with people. And sounds to me like we'll have every opportunity to do that virtually as well. So makes me look forward to it. I'm going to ask Rebecca to jump in for a second. Rebecca, you're always monitoring our chat and question and answer. You might have a great question, or somebody who's in attendance live. What you got for us?
So I absolutely love the concept, and I'm really excited for this year. And thank you all for your expertise and talent in putting this together. As a potential vendor for the expo, what comes to mind as a question is the demo that you showed. There's a lot of input from the vendor side in terms of working with you all to get that up and running. How technically savvy do I have to be to provide you the information that you need, the video, et cetera, to make it look as fabulous as you just demonstrated?
To me, as a business, and this is where it's going to get different, I believe in a minimum viable product and offering. And so literally recording a video from your phone works. And honestly, the video that was played by the Blood Connection was a phone recorded video. And that's how good that looks, right? So just did that. But then we also have the ability of recording videos, and Mike's business, Three Chairs, can actually do some editing and helping. And so there isn't much technical skills. I have a form that we're about to announce that will literally say, what type of information do you want to cover, what links, and it's going to go, if you can just copy and paste links and text what you want in there, we will do the technical background. You have to get the video to us, or we'll connect you with folks that can help you with the video, but there doesn't need to be a tech savvy side of things because we're handling that all. The biggest help you can do is know that a logo is needed, and a good clear logo with high resolution helps. If not, it won't look as good when comparing to the other options as well. But for the most part, a business does not have to be tech savvy. They can do a phone video or from their laptop, however you wanted to do it. We can get you in contact with editors, and then we will upload it onto our YouTube channel if you don't have one, or you can send me we can only accept videos in YouTube or Vimeo, or you send us the file and we will host it on our account.
You'll help us with formulating trivia questions, that type of thing as well?
Correct, yeah. So it all depends on what you want to know from the attendees.
Okay.
Do you want them to watch the whole video and answer something that you covered in the video? Or would you like to have them do more of the survey saying, we offer these things, what would you be interested in? So it all depends on what type of interaction. Is this a branding opportunity for you? Are you actually advertising? You could literally have the link that we put in the website, your booth, to go to your website that talks about a certain offer that you have, and they have to scroll down to see it, but they can't leave your booth until they actually find that offer. So, we make sure that we have their eyeballs with that engagement piece.
All right, very good. Thank you so much.
No problem.
Thanks, Benjamin. Let's, if we can, let's get a final thought from each of you. We'll go in reverse order and how and where someone can contact you. Benjamin, if you will, final thought and where somebody can find you.
Final thought is I'm excited about this opportunity. You alluded to the remoteness of it. I'm actually going to be facilitating some of the expo for a couple days while in Mexico. So that is the beauty of virtual. We can work and play wherever. So that'll be there. Way to get a hold of me, ben@onpurposeadventures.com.
Thank you, Benjamin. Toy, Mike, a final thought, please, and where someone can reach you.
Yeah, one final thought I had as Benjamin was talking was you can double dip. You can work and you can have a vendor, a vendor at the expo. You could be doing both at the same time, or you could be on your couch if you wanted to be, and at the expo at the same time. But I know that Ben will be working in Mexico. I'm 100% sure, because the man does not have a home. He's always in a car, on a boat, or somewhere doing all these things. Anyways, I'm looking forward to it. I'm very excited about it. And then you can get a hold of me at mike@threechairsproductions.com if you have any questions, comments, concerns. We can help you.
Mike, thank you so much. And Michael Cochran, a final thought, please, and where someone can reach you.
Absolutely. Thank you, John, and panel. One of the things that I've been thinking about since we've been talking is a rising tide raises all ships. And when you go to a standard business expo, and you can see who puts time and effort into their booths and who's excellent at it, this allows someone maybe that's been marginal in the past to really step up their game and draw from others with this expert advice and experience to up their game and maybe take their business to the next level or higher. So I just see it as an opportunity to take your business and expand it in a new direction. If you've never thought about the virtual side, this could be a fantastic opportunity to make that jump. And people can reach me at Michael Cochran at scfbins.com, like South Carolina Farm Bureau Insurance.com.
Wonderful. Michael Cochran, thank you so much. Agent with Farm Bureau Insurance and chair of the 2020 Mount Pleasant Business and Community Expo Committee. Mike Compton, co-founder and executive producer of Three Chairs Productions and chair of the Chamber's Marketing Committee. And Benjamin Toy, owner of On Purpose Adventures, and the guy who is bringing us the concept and making it work so that the expo goes virtual this year. Thanks to all of our chamber members with us live and those catching us on the recording. And a big thank you, as always, to the Mount Pleasant Chamber's own Rebecca Imholtz on keeping us on track today. From all of us at the Mount Pleasant Chamber, thank you for joining us this week for The Pivot. Make it a great week.
Thank you.